Good morning. It is Thursday and we have come up with another case study video. In today's video, we are going to talk about a company which has been making the rounds in the news since a week now. We are going to talk about Evergrande and its impact on India's economy, if at all. So let us understand first about what this company is. Evergrande is a real estate developer in China. It is supposedly the biggest real estate developer in China. It was started in 1996, and in 1996 they actually started by selling bottled water. Then they went on to pig farming, and currently they are in the real estate business. Now, why is this company important? Because this is the biggest real estate developer in China. And when I say biggest, it is not just in terms of scale, but in terms of the revenues and the liabilities that they have. The liabilities are the most important here. At this point of time, this company has around $300 billion liabilities with banks. Again, whenever there is a real estate company, as you know, the scale of a real estate company is much bigger. That means they have to keep borrowing money to make sure that multiple projects are being started, developed and then sold, right? So when we say they are at a liability or they are taking debt, it is very important to understand what they are taking debt from, because companies can take debt from multiple sources, right? And this Evergrande is an important company right now because most of its liabilities are from banks and financial institutions, but mostly from banks, which are around $300 billion. Yes, that's right. That is exactly $300 billion liabilities with banks. Now, they have around $1 trillion of unfinished projects and around 1.5 million people waiting to take homes from this real estate developer. And this is the biggest real estate developer company in China. They have more than 1300 projects in 300 cities in China. They have 2 trillion yuan worth of assets, which is almost 2% of China's GDP. And since China is the largest economy, is the second largest economy in the world today, you can understand how concerning this is, that such a company will not be able to pay its suppliers, which is yet to see. Actually, the deadline is for Thursday, which is today. So we would have to see whether this company will be able to pay its suppliers the amount that it owes, or will it default. Now, exposure, so at any point when we talk about a specific company and its impact on the global economy, we would have to understand what is its exposure to the global economy. For example, for this company Evergrande, they have had exposure. They have actually collected debt from offshore bond markets. So as you understand, generally bond market is the safest option for any investment. And these people were able to raise bonds on their company's name and then start collecting money for their projects. At this point of time, out of China's total offshore market bond debt, Evergrande has had an 9% exposure, which is supposed to be huge. And also global investors like BlackRock, HSBC, Fidelity, Goldman Sachs are all invested in this company, because this company Evergrande until now used to give high positive results. So whenever there are high positive results, as you can understand, most of the global investors are invested in a company like that. Now, liabilities of this company are spread across 128 banks and 120 financial institutions. So as you can see, there are two different ways that a company can raise debt. One is through banks directly. You go to a bank, you apply for a loan. I mean, if you and me, people like us, we apply for a loan, there are 100 restrictions. But if companies like Evergrande, which are huge in scale, they apply for loans, then it is pretty easy for them to get loans. Apart from that, there are financial institutions that the company can raise loans from, and it seems they have taken advantage of both banks and the financial institutions. So if this company really goes down, then it will be a huge impact for both these financial institutions that are out there, banks and NBFCs as well. Now, coming back to why does it matter to you and me who are sitting in India? Does it really matter? So there are certain pros and cons for this situation. At this point of time, China's government has not provided any support to Evergrande. They have not promised that they will be paying off some of the liabilities of Evergrande, or they will be investing in the company further. At this point, so generally what happens is whenever a company goes down, for example, when Lehman's went down in US, the US government actually bailed it out. So people were also expecting that since this is a huge company in China and it has so many common people's money also invested in it, people like you and me who might have probably bought a flat from Evergrande's project, since lot of people's money is also invested, maybe China's government will get involved with the company and they would try to infuse some money into this company, or probably buy off some projects out of Evergrande's portfolio. But it seems at this point of time, nothing of that sort is happening, right? So until and unless there is some new investment infusion happening in the company, it will definitely go down. So we would have to wait and see what will happen with this company. Now let us look at India's economy per se, and let us understand if this company going down will really impact us in any which way. So the reasoning behind any impact for any other country is around inflation in China. So because this company has had so many liabilities, is actually the assets of this company, which is around 2 trillion yuan, is around 2% of China's GDP. The people's expectation is that probably there would be some inflation in China. So whenever there is an inflation, the currency value actually goes down, and if the currency value goes down, then the exports become cheaper. So the first thing that might happen is if China's currency devalues, that means there would be cheaper exports, and one of the countries that would be infused with these cheaper exports, that would be dumped with the cheaper exports, is of course India. So probably that could be one of the effects that we might be seeing. Again, apart from this, Sensex the world over has got hit by this news that Evergrande, the biggest company and which has so much exposure across the world, not just that it is the biggest company in China, but it is also about the exposure that it has around the world markets, and how many banks it has taken loans from, how many financial institutions has profusely put money into it. It seems the world over Sensex has taken a hit. Our own Sensex, BSE, has taken a 525 points hit on Monday, and another 215 points down it has gone on Tuesday noon. At this point of time, today is Thursday, it seems that it has stabilized a bit. There is no more BXC Sensex going down. It is very much stable at this point of time. The third point is there are certain companies and these are the companies of Sensex in India which are very, very stable, like Tata Steel, Jindal, SAIL, JSW, Tata Chemicals, etc. And these are commodity exporting companies, so they generally export iron ore. They also sometimes export steel to China. These companies have taken a hit because they might also be suppliers to this biggest company, real estate developer in China, which is Evergrande. So their stocks have actually gone down by 10 to 15% in the last 5 trading sessions. So this is what has happened in China's economy when this news of Evergrande came out. But not everything is bleak. So one of the pros of this situation is companies around the world are understanding how the situation of China is developing. Previously, there was this COVID situation which has happened wherein huge companies had to shut down their premises. They were not able to manufacture because the COVID actually erupted and started in China. And now this situation wherein Chinese economy doesn't seem to be as stable as Xi Jinping's presidency is showing to the world. It seems there are certain concerns. And government is also trying to pull in other regulations to, restrict certain kind of industries. For example, entertainment industry. We have just seen that Xi Jinping has come up with a new regulation wherein the entertainment industry has been regulated. So companies now understand that China probably isn't the best turf to put up their manufacturing industries in. So they are also definitely looking for alternatives. And which is the best alternative in Asia Pacific? Of course, the biggest and the best alternative for them right now is India. So probably we will be seeing a lot of companies influx into India. As you can already see, Apple is trying to create a biggest facility in Chennai at this point of time. So it is not all bleak for us in India. Probably there would be much better opportunities. Because of COVID also, there have been companies which started moving out of China and started putting their base in India. So just to summarize, Evergrande is the biggest real estate developer in China. They have around 2 trillion yuan worth of assets, which is almost 2% of China's GDP. The biggest liability at this point of time for the world's economy is their exposure. They have had liabilities of company are spread across 128 banks and 120 financial institutions. At this point of time, China's government is not taking any initiative to influx any new cash into Evergrande or trying to bail out the company. The biggest hit for us in India economy because of this situation would be probably cheaper exports because of the devaluation of China's currency. Our BSE has already taken a hit on Monday and Tuesday. Commodity exporting companies like Tata Steel, JSW, Jindal have taken a hit of around 10 to 15%, but not all seems bleak. At the end of the day, it seems like companies now understand that there are better pastures, there are better places to set up their manufacturing industries. So they might be looking at India as an alternative. I hope you found this interesting. We would be shooting videos thrice a week, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. On Tuesday, we'll be covering digital marketing or marketing strategy video. On Thursday, we generally cover a business case study video, and on Saturday, we will be doing a book review or a financial kind of video. So if you like the content that is there on this channel, please do subscribe. If you think your friends or your family members might get some value out of the videos that we are making, please do share the video with them. Please do comment regarding what you think will happen if Evergrande goes down. When Evergrande goes down, will it really affect India's economy? We would love to hear from you. This is Sirisha Verma, Founder Chief Strategist at Branding by Pixels, a business strategy design and digital marketing company coming live to you from India. If you have a business and if you are looking to get it marketed on the digital media, then you can also reach out to us and we'll be happy to create a digital strategy for you. This is Sirisha Verma. Please do take care and stay safe. Have a great weekend ahead. Bye-bye.